Okay, so today I am here to talk about the hair that I have been wearing. So yeah, if you'd like to know more about this hair, then just keep on watching. Hi guys, okay, so the hair that I am wearing is from Sincerely Chanel Extensions. I'll have the information or the exact website listed down below. I'll also have their Instagram and all of the other stuff listed down below. It'll probably pop up on the screen as well. Okay, so just off top, I want to tell you just the specs of the hair before I get into like my pros and cons of the hair and different things like that. So I have in her Malaysian loose wave texture, and I have in all 26. Now I did cut off a few of the inches. I'll get to as to why I cut off a few inches, but besides the reason that I had behind it, I wanted to cut off a few inches just because I knew 26 inches would just be entirely too long for me. I'm only like 5'4"-ish, 5'4.5", so 26 inches is going to be really long on me. I've never gone beyond 24 inches, and that's a comfortable length for me where I'm not looking like the hair is swallowing me. So yeah, I definitely wanted to make sure that I cut off a few inches just because of that. And then just from me dyeing it, I needed to cut off some of those ends anyway. So yeah, I have in her Malaysian loose texture, and yeah, this is how the hair looks. Now this is not the hair in its natural state. I definitely did wand curl the hair. After I bleached it and colored it and stuff, the hair did not, it kind of has a wave to it, but it's not the wave that it had when I first initially got the hair. Now before I got the hair, I did not co-wash it or anything, so I can't tell you how the hair was besides how it was when I got it. When I got it, it was a really nice wave pattern. Kind of like loops, if that makes sense. Not really curls, but like big huge loops. It reminded me of how the hair is now, but it was in its natural state. So I'm just gonna start in the order of everything, the coloring process. This hair bleached amazingly. Like I've never had hair bleached the way this hair bleached. When I did it, I used a 40 volume developer, and I use 40 volume developers on pretty much all of my hair just because I want to get the maximum. Now I believe you can go higher than 40, but I think I used, no, I take that back. I think I used like a 30 volume developer and a 20 volume developer when I did the wetness. So I used a 30 volume developer. I didn't do 40. I did 30, and the hair bleached super light. I wish I got some pictures, but I definitely had to go in and color it just to tone the color down because it had bleached so bright. The back of my hair got super light. I'm not sure if you can still see, like this is not even the lightest that it was. Once I toned it and everything, this hair was pretty much white, and I knew I had to color over it just because it was too bright for me, and I knew that I would not be able to go outside like that. So I definitely, once I bleached it, I used a 30 volume developer. I did the like weaving in and out method where I wanted to have highlights. I didn't want all of my hair to be that ombre. I wanted it to kind of go in and out and have highlights within my hair, which is what I got. That method works really well, especially if you are a beginner like I am. Well, yeah, I'm not a professional hairstylist or anything, so I feel like I'll always be a beginner when it comes to that. Even though I've colored my hair before, I had never used that method before. So yeah, I did the weaving out method. I applied aluminum foil to it, and I think that really helps as well because usually I never apply foil to my hair. I just always just bleach it because I'm usually just doing like an ombre type of thing, and then I'll color over it. That's pretty much it. But I applied the aluminum foil and maybe the heat from that, because it did get warm. The heat from that allowed it to lift even higher. So I applied that once I got, which is why the front is not as light as the back. So I only left it on there for about 30 minutes total, even though the front hadn't lifted as far as the back did. I was okay with that because I wanted more highlights in the back of my head opposed to in the front of my hair. So once I did that, I did apply the Wella Toner in T18. I applied 2 bottles of that using a 20 volume developer because that's what the bottle says to use. So I used a 20 volume developer on that. After I got done with that, the hair was like super blonde. and I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to rock that. I can't do the platinum blonde, even though there are a lot of chocolate girls that do it. I just don't think it'll fit me. So I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to go in and tone it down. But I did want to make sure that I got a color. I did go and get a box dye as well as a like a what is it called? As well as like the regular bottle hair color. The box dye that I used was the Soft Sheen Carson Chocolate Bliss collection in Honey Rush. That looks like this. I wanted to make sure that I did get a ashy hair dye, just because I did not want to have something that was really warm. Even though this says Honey Rush, it's not. It's definitely like that ashy brown that I was going for. After I applied that, I'm not even sure if it worked, because my hair was still kind of damp when I did it. I didn't feel like blow drying it all the way out, so I'm not even sure if it really took that color like how I think it did. But I'm just letting you guys know the steps that I did. So the hair was kind of damp when I did it, and once I took it, I feel like if it was dry, it would have taken it a lot better, even though I love the way my hair came out now. Keep in mind, if you're trying to do that, my hair was not completely dry, so once I blow dried it out from this, it was a slight difference. It wasn't a huge difference with it, but once I got done with that, I was just like, okay, you know what, I used 2 boxes of these because 1 box just was not gonna do it. But I used 2 boxes of these, and I'm like, okay, I still need a little bit more chocolate in my hair, just because I want the front of my hair not to have as many highlights as the back of my hair. So I went in with the Adore 110 Darkest Brown. Now on the bottle, it looks like it's gonna be super dark, but you can definitely tell in person that variation from my roots being like a 1B texture to this being like a 2 color. So I would definitely not be worried about this. But if you do think that this is too dark, they have another one that I was going to try. I was debating between this one and Mahogany, so I would definitely try out Mahogany. It was one down from this. I'm not sure if your local beauty supply store have it, but yeah, this is the one that I definitely used, and it worked out amazingly. With this one, I didn't do the weaving method really. I just kind of took my brush and just streaked it, making sure that I didn't have any really harsh lines, but I just kind of went in places where I felt like it needed a little bit more brown in there and not so much as blonde. So I of course did the front part of my hair, and then of course I went in with some of the tracks and did inside of there. But for the most part, that was that. And after I washed it, blow dried it, and deep conditioned it, I did deep condition it. Once I blow dried it, I did cut off cut off some of the ends, because the ends were a bit frizzy, and I'm not sure if that's because of the bleach, because the ends were a bit frizzy when I was like making the wig. But once I really bleached it, I noticed how frizzy that the ends were, and when I was trying to flat iron it, I was just like, yeah, no, it's not gonna work out. I need to cut off some of these ends, just because my ends are not gonna look like that. But once I cut off the ends, I deep conditioned it and everything, my ends feel great. Like, it feels amazing from root to tip. So yeah, I would definitely talk about that. One of the problems that I did have with the hair was that it had quite a few split ends. I did message the young lady about it, and she did say that she would recommend giving the hair a slight trim, if that makes sense, just to kind of get rid of some of the split ends. Once I did kind of go in and just kind of snip away some of the split ends that the hair had, and once I did that, like, the hair is fine now. Now the problem that I did have was that my hair, it could definitely be the flat irons, and when I messaged her about that as well, because at first I envisioned me wearing this hair just bone straight, and when I was trying to flat iron it, the flat irons that I use only go up to 410. She was mentioning that if I had flat irons, and I'm quite sure that she's not telling a story, just because I do notice that with the wand curl, my wand curl goes all the way up to 450, and the hair is super straight. But my flat iron did not get the hair as straight as I wanted it to be, so I would definitely keep that in mind as well. Make sure that you use a really good flat iron. I really do need to invest in another one. The ones that I did have that was really good broke when in the process of me moving, so I've just been using the ones that I've had like on backup or whatever. So I would definitely keep that in mind. I do have in 3 bundles. She sent me over 4 bundles. I have in a 5x5 closure. I did bleach the knots on the closure. Now I would definitely be careful with that. I will only use about a 20 volume developer when bleaching the knots, because I did kind of have to go in with the with a dark hair color to fix the knots, because it did bleach super fast. I think I used like a 30 and it bleached really fast that the knots kind of messed up, but I fixed it now and everything is fine. But I would definitely keep that in mind. But the closure and everything, bleaching the knots was a breeze. That was nothing on her end. I just had to fix it myself, because usually sometimes closures take a while to bleach, sometimes they don't, and hers bleached really quickly. So I would definitely keep that in mind. But like I said, I have in 3 bundles. I still have a bundle left. The hair was pretty full, especially for it to be a 26-inch. I thought that I was definitely going to need all 4 bundles, but once I got it, like, the hair is not thin or anything like that. You can't see through it. It's definitely a lot of hair, so it's not like I skimped out, because it's like, what reason would I have to if I have 4 bundles? But you can definitely fit 4 bundles if you want. 4 bundles would just have been a lot of hair for me. In regards to the shipping, it takes about 7 business days for your hair to get to you. I find that to be true, just because when she did tell me, I honestly didn't realize when she was shipping the hair, because I didn't get like a tracking number or anything. It just kind of showed up at my house. But from the time that I had gave her my email address and my address and my address and all of that other stuff, the time pretty much adds up. So it takes about 7 business days. She is a Black owned business, and you do have to keep in mind that if you do email her and different things like that, she's working by herself and she's a one-woman show. So please be patient with that. I definitely kept that in mind, just in regards to emailing back and forth and not automatically getting a response like you would with a big corporation or anything like that. It's just her, so you have to keep that in mind, that she's answering all the emails that she can, but it does take 7 business days at least to get your hair. So keep that in mind when you're ordering hair, just because I know a lot of people order hair 2 or 3 days before their birthday and like, oh man, no, I didn't get my hair. Well, you ordered 2 or 3 days and it's not. I'm not sure. I'll leave down below if she offers express shipping or anything like that. But yeah, her standard shipping is 7 business days. Now with this hair, she does have Malaysian bundle deals. She does have different textures in the Malaysian. Like I said, mine is a Malaysian loose wave. So her bundle deals, I want to make sure I'm getting this right, so I'm going to read it off my phone, but I'm not like cheating or anything, but I'm reading it off my phone. She has 3 bundle deals starting at $245 and goes up to $300, and it also she also offers bundle deals that include closures and frontals. So yeah, you can definitely get 3 bundles plus a closure or a frontal, whichever one you prefer. So I think that's a really good deal, especially for only 300 bucks. So definitely check her out. Her Instagram and all the other stuff will be listed on the screen, as well as listed down below. I'll have all of her information listed down below as well. I'll have her website and everything else listed down below as well. Please go check her out. Tell her that I sent you guys over there. Check her Instagram out if you want to see more of her different textures that she offers. She offers some really pretty textures as well. So check that out. Don't forget to like, comment, thumbs up, and subscribe to this channel. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will talk to you guys soon.